goody? I'm Queen G22. Ninja Turtles gaming geek stuff and travel is what you're gonna get on this channel. So hello, and today I've got the Super 7 Super Cyborg Krang Android, right? This is gonna be a little bit different. Well, actually not entirely different because I have some stuff coming up, but I do not typically collect villains. I collect Donatellos. For those of you that haven't figured that out yet. But I have a Krang here, and I have a Krang because Super 7 was so gracious to gift this to me. So I'm gonna take a look at it and see if maybe I've been missing out on the whole villain side. I mean, I would just prefer to only have Donatello in my life. The only reasons why I get the rest of them is if I'm forced to with a box set that I can't separate, or the pieces is just so magnificent with the whole crew together, then I'll do that. Kind of like the last Ronin pieces that just came out. You gotta have all of them, right? That's just the way it is. But this is a Krang Android Super Cyborg by Super 7. And we're gonna take a look at this guy and see what he's all about. So let's get started. What we have on the outside, which I find very interesting and a little bit different. Of course, I've only really collected Super 7 Donatello, so maybe I just don't know, but this Krang Android has a different language writing on it. Now I'm gonna take a guess, but please don't chew my head off because I don't know. I don't know because I don't study it, so how would I know the difference? I'm gonna say it's Japanese, right? It's got the Japanese lettering all over this box. So I'm wondering if this guy is more popular in a different country, or what's the deal? I do not know the history on that, so if you do, that's fine. Put it in the comments and let us know why this Krang Android has got the Japanese version, or are these only being shipped to Japan if it is Japanese? And so Super 7 graciously was like, here, try this. I mean, it's all over this box. But anyways, let's go over the box art and let's get to cracking. We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the top left-hand corner, me looking at the box. Super 7 logos below it, we love it. Top right hand, we've got Dimension X Krang Android, which, by the way, yeah, Krang, he's not one of my favorites. He's not one of my favorites. Like I said, I don't usually collect villains, but if I had to choose of all the villains, I'm not feeling this dude. I'm not feeling him at all. I'm not feeling his cockiness. I'm not feeling his attitude. I'm not feeling him. But this piece is actually is pretty cool looking. So I might be feeling this piece, but I'm just not feeling Krang and his idea to rule the world and get rid of humans. It's unnecessary. But anyways, back to this Krang Android across the front, and then Super Cyborg below it, the X-ray action figure. So, ooh, the X-ray action figure. What exactly does that mean? Then we got this really dope picture of Krang down below. And I love this version of this Krang because he looks very similar to the 87 cartoons version. And that's the version that is closest to my heart when I think of the Ninja Turtles. So we flip it over to the back. Now we've got like these cool little like diagram of what is going on with this Android, right? It's got Krang Android up top. It's got Japanese writing below it, assuming that says Krang Android in a different language. Somebody who knows, let us know. Power converter also with the language below it. Megaphone, and tells us where the megaphone is. Also, we've got a heart monitor, which is cool. I don't know why does the brain need to monitor his heart when he is the brain, but it is what it is. Piston bellows. Not really exactly sure what that is. It sounds like something that is like with vehicles, right? Pistons. Technodrome paneling, interesting. And overdrive control, 11 inches, that's what she said. So 11 inches in height, which is cool. And yeah, the lettering, I don't know, I keep saying Japanese and I have no idea, but it's all over this thing and it looks like it is describing it in a different language. So this is really neat to have this diagram of what's going on inside in this Krang Android. It almost makes me think like I want to keep this box. I'm not sure that I am, but it almost makes me think that I should keep it. So we're gonna flip over to the other side, Krang Android instruction panel. So this is dope. The set includes removable chest panels, which is nice, and detachable hands, right? Just your typical Krang type stuff. So something to lose, right? If you like to play with your toys. Anyways, okay, activate. So reveal his cyborg inside. So we take off this panel, we can see what's going on. Very neat. And then on the other side, we've got Krang Android, and then it says Krang, the bloodless burbling brain, bro. Like, that sounds like Krang. And then we've got a description. Krang is all the brains and body could want. Yes, and I'm not gonna read it for you. If you want to read it, you can get one of your own, but a nice little description for those of you that are Krang fans, or those of you that just collect everything. And then we have Krang Android Dimension X below that. So, and we have more of a diagram, some of the pieces that we get within this box. So, accessories, we've got our Krang, we've got our Flow hand, whatever that is, our Android hand. I guess we got our regular hand, then we got our Android hand. Okay, that does make sense. Oh, and then we got a claw hand. So depending on what type of mood your Krang is in, you can switch his hand. So that's pretty much the box art. Let's open up this box and see what this Krang guy is all about. As always, we're gonna get rid of this tape, get rid of the tape, get rid of the tape. Top pops open, which is nice. Slide this guy out. Oh, all right, now this is, I don't know what to say about this, honestly, because it's Krang, but it's definitely Krang. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got rubber bands up top. See if I can cut that off. Oh no, we got the old school twisties, right? Oh, Jesus. He's kind of like in this little bubble thing, so we have to remove this so that we can get to the back so we can get the bands off. So give me just a second. Kind of like he's in that old school like clam thing. Okay, so we've removed our Krang from the package, right? All right, let's untwist this guy. Twisties are on the back. I love tape and I love the bands. I mean, like, why is he locked in here like that? Like, why is it so serious? Okay, all right, let's flip this over. So the chest plate is up front, so why don't we just briefly take a look at this first? Look at the detail on this chest plate. So, it looks like typical Krang stuff. I love how you can put this chest plate on top of it and cover the insides if you don't want his business all out. Now let's take a look at this Krang, bro, without breaking him. More rubber bands. Okay, let's see if he wants to come out now. Okay, in order for him to come out, I had to remove his hands. What is keeping him in here? More bands. Swear to God, if he doesn't come out right now, I'm done. That's why I can't stand him. I need a second. All right, that was a lot. I'm gonna put his little hand back on. Okay, like I said, this is my first Krang and probably my last, but that was unnecessary. I'm just gonna say that. That was a lot. That was unnecessary. I'm over it. Okay, this is my first Krang. Okay, so as you know, normally I'd be like, we have all these points of articulation. They're flexible. They're givable. This Krang is not giving that at all. He's very stiff, which makes sense. Yes, that's what she said. It makes sense, right? Because he's just an android body and he just kind of moves and he's got that foot stomp and everything, so it makes sense. It's just kind of weird for me because I'm used to being able to put them in different positions. I get the picture and I know what they're going for. I'm also kind of interested because, or not interested, just like, oh, okay, material that was used to make this guy. Like, I don't know exactly what he was made out of. He feels more like plastic, crackable, breakable, and maybe not, but that's just how he feels. Like, I thought he might have had a little bit of a different kind of softer type of feel. So again, maybe I'm just being a weird critic, but this is Krang, so I might be a little bit biased. And two, I've never owned a Krang piece before, so I don't really know what to expect, so this is different. But let's just take a look at Krangs before we get into anything else. So we're gonna take a look at his Android. So first off, let's look at his face. Now look at that face, all right? Now that's a good looking Krang face right there. That looks like Krang, right? Details are pretty good. Get in there. Yeah, so as far as how he looks like the Krang body that we've known to have. Go down to his arms. Like I said, there's no bend. It's just pretty much up and down. I don't know if you can hear that on my mic. Feels like hard plastic. I don't know. Like if I chuck this across the room, I'm not gonna be able to display it. Like it's definitely breaking or not. I'm not a material professional. I don't know. And then we've got like the stitching on the back of his arm. So as far as how he looks, the details, I feel like it's spot on. Those of you that collect Krangs, let me know how you feel about this. Same with the other arm, it's the same. He looks like the Krang Android body. Now what I do think is pretty neat is this little hamster wheel in here. First of all, I love hamsters. And second of all, it's kind of funny that there's a hamster that's powering this body. I don't remember ever seeing this. I think this is something cute that they've done on their own, but again, I'm not a Krang professional. If you are, let me know in the comments about this hamster body. I love it. I think it's a nice touch if it's something that Super 7 added themselves. And then we've kind of we got like the the monitor rates, depending on how fast the hamster is going. And then on the inside, we can just see more text stuff on how this Android is put together. So for a Krang, sure. Yeah, I'm good with it. And going on down his leg, you know, I like to go down the leg. We've got just some more generic looking pieces of the Krang and how he was put together by Krang or whoever put it together for him. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about this thing. I can't tell if I'm biased or I feel like this is kind of simple, but then again, a Krang Android is probably pretty simple. So let me stop and flip him over on his back. And I love it. We got some more details on the back. I think the box actually talks to us about the pieces. Yeah, okay, so on the front, the monitor that I was telling you about was the heart monitor. This hamster wheel is the power converter. Down below, right below the hamster, this is supposed to be a megaphone, I guess, so Krang can yell at everyone, including Shredder. In the middle, we've got our piston bellows. Those are the things that are gonna go up and down, I guess. Down below, we've also got our Technodrome paneling. Those are on his shins, right? And then on the other side, inside his body, we have what's called a overdrive control. So they're very descriptive on the box, which is neat to tell you what exactly you're looking at on this Krang. So I can dig it. I am a fan. So let's keep going. Now we've got our Krang. We've got our Krang. Now look at this face. Look at that face of that Krang, right? Isn't that a good looking face? This totally embodies the Krang that I know. It will stay focused on him. That's the Krang face that I know. That face right there, that's the Krang. And I love this because, like I said, this embodies the 1984, right? Is it 19? No, that's when they came out. The 1987 cartoons, Krang. Like a brain, he's got a little veins and stuff all over his head. He's got that evil little weird looking face on him. Like, this is Krang. And this Krang is made out of a different type of material, which seems more durable. So I'm a fan. And his little arms, if they're his arms or tentacles or whatever the hell they are, they move. So I've been saying this is neat lately, so I'm trying to switch up between this is neat and this is cool. This is neat. This is neat. I love this Krang. His Android, but this little Krang head, I love this Krang. So let's see. I believe we can just sit his little ass right in there. And yeah, we definitely have a little notch hole in the bottom so we can stick him in there so he won't move as much. Let's see if I can do that. See if I can do that today though. Can't tell. But I also can't see in here. No, like he's in that hole, but he's just not in there.
That's what she said.
Michael, please. Here he is. Please.
He's in there, supposedly. So as far as easy assemble with your Krang, but it's just a head. So let's see if we can just pop this chest plate on. Yeah, that's rather simple. Boom, that pops right in there. And now we've got our Krang. Now my Krang's in there loosey-goosey because I can't get him to stay seated on his little nodule thing. Maybe I can do that for the pictures, but yeah. Okay, Krang. This is not bad, right? This is cool. This is cool. Okay, so we got our Krang in there. Let's take a look at the pieces. So we got our different kind of hands. It looks like we've got this anchor thing. So if we just pop his little hand off, we should be able to put this little anchor thing right in there. Boom, that's easy, right? Okay, this can do some damage with the turtles. So we have this, we have the anchor. We've got this other big ass hand looking thing. I'm not sure which is which, but this one goes on there, right? So now we've got this hand. That's cool. Okay, I can dig it. It spins. Yeah. Cool. All right. And then we've got this other looking hand. This is like the cutter thing, right? This thing moves up and down, which is nice. So this has some movement to it. And it doesn't spin, but it does move up and down. So it doesn't really stay on that great, but yeah. Okay, let's see if I can tell which one is which. Where did I see the hands? Okay, so this one with the spiky, this one is called the flaw hand. Flaw hand. This one that kind of looks like a hand, but it's more like a machine little piece. This is the Android hand. And this little up and down thing is actually the claw, so it opens. Boom! Okay, so this looks like a freaking Krang to me, right? Yeah, this is a freaking Krang. Okay. All right, so that's cool. All right, yeah, I'll just say that. All right, so with that, let's just take a better look at Krang. that is the Krang Android Super Cyborg. Let me know what you guys think about this Krang. For my final words on this thing, I would say this is pretty cool, right? Obviously, I might be a little bit biased because I'm not a villain fan, and not a whole lot that I can do with this piece. Not a whole lot that I can do with this piece, that just fell off. But as far as your collection goes, if you're trying to collect every single villain, or trying to collect every single Krang, or trying to collect every single figure or whatever that goes with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then I think this is a dope addition. Not really my style, right? But I don't hate it. I don't. It's Krang, right? So I think it's a good representation of a Krang. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it. And I'm Queen G22. Hold on. You know you can't leave yet. We have to do our subscriber shoutouts. So if you're new to my channel, I like to play a game with my viewers, and it's called That's What She Said. It's because I adore the show The Office so much that I include Michael Scott's favorite saying, "That's what she said," in almost every single video. But there are times when I will make a comment and I won't call it out. And if my viewers call it out and it's good enough, I'll give you a shout out on my next video. In order to be considered for a shout out, you have to do 3 things. You have to 1, say what I said, 2, timestamp it, and 3, say that's what she said. Our first shout out goes to One Glove One. Nice job, One Glove. And this is what this person thought should have been a That's What She Said. But look, I am digging this feel. See if I can stay on that face.
That's what she said.
Nice job, One Glove One. And I think this is your first shout out as well, so congratulations. Our next shout out goes to Sayer Cervante, and this is what this person thought should have been a That's What She Said. Cool. And also it looks like it's got a little notch, whatever you want to call that, on the back, which makes it nice to help stick it in his head so it doesn't fall off.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
Serious.
Please.
Mwah!
Okay, so that one is kind of sus, but it made me laugh. So what the hell, right? So nice job, and nice job everyone, and thank you so much for the participation. Just a quick little house cleaning. My next 2 videos, your girl is gonna be on vacation, so I will not be calling out That's What She Said, but that does not mean do not call them out in my videos. And as soon as I get back, I will resume with the shout outs. I'm Queen G22.